And welcome back as we are live right up until 6 o'clock here at the HSC Foundation. We're at the women's unit, and you just come in the doors. We're a little bit different than last year. Come all the way to the end, and you'll see us with all our signage. You can come donate live. Or, of course, call toll-free 1-800-679-8493, 204-515-5612, or hscfoundation.mb.ca/donate. I have two guests with me now, and we're going to start with Gerald, Danais, owner and president of Zoom Phone. And we'll get to my next guest, but I will introduce you now, Amelia Rajpaul, a grateful HSC patient and HSC Foundation volunteer. Thank you both for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, the great part about being back down here is people from last year. And Gerald, I met you last year, of course. It's great to see you again. Zoom Phone is a company with a mission to help small businesses move their telephone and IT systems to the cloud. They have securely transitioned many organizations to Microsoft 365, giving them the power to work more efficiently and from anywhere, but also helping with the HSC phone line since they started doing this as well.
Absolutely, yeah. We've been helping HSC for years. And one of the big things for HSC is this radiothon, and they do some pre-calling, and we ramp up November, December to make some of those calls, and so we help them do that. It's a bit of a story behind that, but
let's revisit that.
Well, it started just making calls in the boardroom at HSC Foundation, and then so we'd set up phones. A bunch of volunteers would come in, make calls, and then COVID hit, and we can't have people in the hospital anymore just coming in. So we had to find ways to enable those volunteers to make calls from home or wherever their office is. But now we've opened up, we have a call center, and we've opened it up, and now the volunteers come to our offices to make calls. And so there's kind of I don't want to say family, but community family kind of feel, because the volunteers are the same ones that come year after year, and we have some new ones, and it's kind of a fun thing. But so we get to do that for HSC Foundation, but we get to participate in this wonderful thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. And, it's the 8th year with Zoom Phone and how it's gone from that to where it is now. And the volunteers, as you said, on the pre-calling partner. And over the years, over $240,000 has been raised through the pre-calling efforts. I mean, you're donating your business to help out. $240,000 of help that you're bringing in. I'm sure that's not the number you were kind of wanting to help with. You just wanted to serve. But what a great number to be involved with.
Yeah, you don't really think about the number. You're just doing this thing. But when you say that, it sure feels good.
I bet, yeah. Well, we can't thank Zoom Phone enough, and the HSC Foundation as well. Thank you for doing this. Owner and President Gerald, Danais, once again, also a personal donor of the foundation since 2017, so near and dear to your heart as well.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned the pre-calling, and one of the pre-calling volunteers is here. Amelia Rajpaul, once again, is thankful for her experience of HSC and the care she received after receiving her breast cancer diagnosis. Amelia, tell us about your journey.
Well, I think I was very lucky. First of all, thank you for having me. I was very lucky in the sense that it was a fairly short journey for me at the time. I found out about mid-May in 2021, and honestly, my surgery was at the end of May of the same month. So I was lucky enough that I didn't have to go through any chemotherapy or radiation. But nonetheless, it was still a big surprise to me, as I was the first person in my family. And I'm still relatively young. But I've been very healthy since. I've had no issues. And, I guess we'll get into the staff, but everybody was wonderful.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk staff, and also the fact that you are, as I said, showing your gratitude by pre-calling for this year's Radiothon in support of HSC Foundation. But your journey is a little different given your age, and it's an important message that you have around your journey and your age. Tell us about that and how, I guess, challenging it was just to get a diagnosis.
Yeah, so because of my age, initially when I thought that I needed to get checked, and I got very lucky that what motivated me to get checked was I was having a conversation with a friend, and she was worried that maybe she should go get checked. So I was like, I should go get checked as well. I noticed some differences in my body. And so I made an appointment, and from the beginning, they were like, well, you're too young. It doesn't run in your family. You don't need to get checked. And I pushed for it, and again, the answer was, you don't need to, like, there's no need for it. So I continued to push, and then eventually, like, as it turns out, like, it was necessary to do, because I ended up having cancer and I had to have treatment after that.
What was that experience like, having to push so hard because of your age and no previous history in your family, and then you're pushing for this, you finally get it, and then you get the diagnosis as well? On one hand, you were right to push so hard, but on the other hand, the diagnosis, right?
It was difficult because even though I pushed so hard, I never thought that it would come back what it was. Again, I was very lucky that everything moved so quickly. But, yeah, it was definitely, I had some very emotional times, and it just makes me want to advocate for other younger women, because I have a friend who went through a similar experience when she was younger. They told her she didn't need to get checked. And when I say they, it has nothing to do with the foundation or the hospital. It's just the initial getting checked, and they told her she didn't need to get checked, and so she listened. She waited a couple of years, and then when she got checked again, it ended up being stage 3. So I was lucky that I pushed for it, and I was only at stage 1.
Right. And I think that's part of the message of your journey, and I don't want to speak for you at all, but you're the sort of the poster person for any type of cancer, where we're telling all of us in society to get checked. Check yourself, do that. And then you did that and had some obstacles with it. It's kind of a catch-22 in our system right now, right? Like, you did the right thing, you tried to, and it was more challenging than it should have been.
Absolutely. After the diagnosis, everything was much easier. But I think just in this, like, in today's day and age, there are so many young women who are being diagnosed with breast cancer that it shouldn't be so difficult for them to get checked or to want to be checked.
And so you have a message for younger women right now, even in their 20s.
Yeah, absolutely. If you see something or you feel something, or, you even have a thought, like, advocate for yourself and get checked, because you know what, it's better to be safe than sorry. Like, maybe it's nothing, but maybe it's something. And with me, it was something. And I was lucky enough that I found it early. So early that I did have to have surgery, but I did not have to go through chemotherapy or radiation.
Yeah, and early detection is always a key in that. I just met you, but can I tell you, I'm proud of you. I'm proud that you pushed, and I'm proud that you got to where you are, and I'm very proud that you are part of the pre-calling team now through Zoom phone, but even more so of your message for younger women. I think it's needed, and when they hear that, I think that most people that age don't want it to be, so they ignore it, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
How's your friend doing?
Well, she's currently going through treatment right now, but we're optimistic.
And she's in her 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just another message that believe in yourself and believe in pushing to see at the end it's for the best.
Yeah.
How'd the pre-calling go for you as a volunteer?
Good. We got, there are a lot of people who are willing to support, and it's for a very good cause. I started doing it because I wasn't able to donate as much as I would have wanted to, so I thought this was the next best thing to encourage other people to do so.
Right, and you probably have never used such a great phone system as Zoom phone, right?
Oh, it was fantastic.
It's the best phone system you've ever been a part of.
I almost want to just start using it at home. Gerald is fantastic.
We can make that work.
Funny you say that. We could make that work, maybe not, Gerald. But seriously, that must also you step up to help out with your business, and to hear stories like this and a difference, and to see that come around to somebody using your system now to help with others. That must make you feel good, Gerald.
It does. But just to say, I mean, I grew up where money wasn't always there, but we helped. And we help in the capacity that we can. So that's kind of how I came across donating my time, my services, my company's time. And it's the same story that Amelia is giving you. She wanted to give more, so she made it work. And that's what this is about, right?
And I think there's a lot of us in society right now that maybe could have donated money 2 years ago, maybe can't this year, but your time is invaluable as well, and the pre-calling team or things like that. So I really appreciate seeing you again, Gerald. I really appreciate meeting you, Amelia. Thank you so much for your strength and your story. I think whether you know it or not, you made another difference today with somebody listening. So thank you, and continue on.
Thank you. I hope so. It was a pleasure.
Awesome. It was a pleasure seeing you both too. 2024 Innovation HSC Radiothon fact sheet. You heard the cowbell. That means Christopher Walken wants some, and a new total is out. Those are what those two things mean when the cowbell goes off. We are at, remember, our goal is $205,000. At 1:43 this afternoon, we are at $137,517. And we're getting towards the 2 o'clock hour. So please keep ringing those phones. 204-515-5612, toll free 1-800-679-8493, or text HSCF to 20222. That'll be an automatic donation of $25. And you can donate online, and while you do, spend some time on the site. Don't just make a donation. Check out all the great things that are underway at hscfoundation.mb.ca/donate. We'll come back to more of the 2024 Innovation HSC Radiothon on 680 CJOB.